Hi, everybody. Welcome to the
Hello.
Golden Girls Coffee Klatch. I am Blanche, also known as Sherry, and I will be your hostess tonight. And I have with me the lovely and slowly getting well Marina, who is also known as Sophia. And below Marina is Cleo, also known as Dorothy. And below me is Judy, the cousin. So she's Rose's cousin and just came in to fill in. So we're awfully glad to have her. And we got all kinds of cool stuff to talk about tonight. If y'all have a question, put it in all caps, please, so that I'll see it because I'm tired tonight.
Yes.
And I'm fighting a bad head cold myself. So Marina's not the only one who's partially sick. Uh, Rose, go rescue it from the post section and come put it in the chat because that's too many steps for me tonight. I can't do it. Um,
Yeah.
um, so, Miss Marina, what you got cooking before we get started here?
What's happening? Well, tomorrow I'll be on Cool Crone readings, and that's at 5 p.m. Mountain. Saturday and Sunday are private readings. I'm overbooked, um, which is, you know what? It's
It's
not.
better than underbooked.
Yes, exactly. It's not a bad thing. I am forever grateful that as soon as the word went out, oh boy, did you guys pick up the mantle? So you're making me work for it. Um, excuse me. Still, if you're interested in booking a reading, whether it's 30-minute reading, an hour reading, or I'm interested in looking at booking a class or whatnot, go to my website, marinasheartcentertarot.com. You'll find all kinds of information on there. You can book things directly off the website. And
And it's gorgeous to look at. Val sprinkled her fairy dust
you
on the
did.
website and just like, wow.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
she brought in the wow factor big time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Made it fabulous. So yeah, go in there, check it out. Look at the testimonials. Take a look at what people have said about the readings and so on. And that's kind of it for this week. I'm still not up to full speed because I will yeah, I'm going to keep my show schedule a little on the few side until I'm feeling a whole lot better.
Yeah,
Because the
that
last
I
thing that I
think that's
want
what.
is to commit to doing shows and then at the last minute have to say, "Oh, sorry guys, can't make it." I don't like to do that. So I
I think that's what happened to me last weekend. I overbooked myself, and
yes.
it was back to back to back to back, and I just didn't get enough rest time.
Yes.
Between that and doing laundry and dealing with groceries and all that fun stuff, and
Yeah.
so um, yeah, I went to work Monday, and I was like, zombie myself on Monday, and Tuesday rolled along, and I was even worse. And
Yes.
Wednesday, I was like, yeah, it ain't happening today.
Yeah.
Really. I
Yeah.
just, I was sent an email. It was like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm going
Yeah.
back to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I spent the day. Well, Miss Cleo, how about you? What's up with you? What's cooking? What's
Well,
on the schedule?
with I'm with Marina on tomorrow for the Cool Crone Oracle, which is private readings, and
Mm-hmm.
then on Monday is the once a month Mystic Four, and that's
Nice.
also private or personal readings, not political. And of course, today is political, and there's so much going on. So I am just really looking forward to this.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Miss Judy, the cousin, uh, cooking for you, Judy. What you got going on and all that fun stuff?
The cousin. Yeah. I started last Sunday was the first of 5 in a series of 5 class. They are all recorded, so if people still want to join in, you can. I will just send you the recording of the previous classes, and then you can up with us. But I really was had great feedback on that. But it's like I said, 5-part series. Did a collab today with Irish Granny Helen, which was fun. That is posted to her channel. I'll be posting it to mine later, so be looking for that. And then doing some private readings as well. And I've reached membership status, so I've started doing like little 3-card pull, lives with my members, and that's been fun. And then Sherry, you and I have ours next Thursday as well.
Yeah, next Thursday we've
That's
got
it.
just politics in the evening. I don't remember what we're calling it, something like that.
Yes.
I vaguely remember.
I don't know.
I think I was starting to get sick.
I don't know what I did
And
10
then
minutes ago most of the time.
yeah, well, that's true too. Um, but for me, I've got stuff this weekend, and I know tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock Central, is the next episode with Amy Warrior Princess for Monthly Mysteries with Amy and Sherry, where we do cold case files that we go into and read. So looking forward to that. And then I'm doing backstage for Arthur tomorrow night. He's got a members meeting stream where he does a live stream for his members. And then Saturday I have several things, and I honest to God can't tell you who it's with, and I'm so sorry. It's just my brain is completely blank, and my book is, I don't know, it's around here somewhere. It's buried under the boxes and ribbons and bows. I'm not going to worry about it. Go to my post section and you'll be able to see what I got lined up for tomorrow, for Saturday, and then of course Saturday night is the slumber party, and yeah, that pretty much does me in. Um, so I'm going to start skimming the chat here because I was talking and not reading.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Um,
questions about Letitia James, and
yeah, y'all want to start on that? Just we can go round robin and make our rounds. I'll just go last on Letitia James and what this is going to mean. I think he has made a really big screw up personally, but uh, perhaps how bad is this going to backfire on him going after Letitia James? I think that's a safe way to put it.
Spectacular comes to mind. Spectacular. Yeah, he's one of the things that you can't do is to let everyone know by posting on Truth Social, hey Pam, I need you to go after these people. And then all of a sudden those people get indicted. And it's like, I don't know what I have no idea. I have nothing to do with it. It's like, oh please, right? No, this this is definitely his fall from grace. He is more and more people are seeing the things that he's doing as being like a communist country, and that's exactly what he's projecting. And there is no evidence there. There is no there. And all that this is going to do is highlight his pettiness and his, I want things my way because I'm the chosen one. I'm special. Yeah.
Ed, special Ed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
Wow. Well,
Yes,
I,
Lord.
I got to agree with Marina. That's pretty much what I get also, except for I'm a little concerned about the judges and prosecutors involved in this, and if they will actually uh, do this indictment legally. Um, that's the only thing that might screw it up. I don't think Letitia James did anything. They're trying to say that she tried to get a loan under. It's interesting that she tried to get a loan under some, to get the best deal on the loan, just like Trump was indicted for and found guilty of, and then thrown out. It was just amazing to me that they just threw the whole thing, $500 million or something, and they just said, "Oh no, no, way too big of a fine." But with Letitia James,
Yeah.
I think she knows what the hell she's doing, and she's ready to go, just like Comey. Just
Mm-hmm.
they're both just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
he's trying to, if he can't destroy them in court and find a guilty verdict, at least he can tarnish their reputation, is the other thing he's trying to do. I don't think it's going to work that way, but
Yeah.
I just feel like both of them are going to get past this if this thing is followed by the rule of law. If it's not, if we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about judges that are in Trump's hip pocket, then it'll be a different story. But obviously, she didn't do anything wrong. She did not
I
try to
don't
do
know.
something illegal. I guess she maybe bought a house that she was going to rent out or something, and
She she helped her niece get a house.
oh
I guess she like co-signed on a loan or something like that. And went in and signed in paperwork on it to help her niece get a house. That's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Whatever she did was it was legal. There was nothing illegal there. Otherwise, they would have indicted her a long time ago.
yeah.
This didn't happen yesterday. It happened quite a number of years ago. So
yeah,
let's keep that in mind. If
Mhm.
there was something there, she would have been indicted much sooner than this. This is nothing but a revenge vendetta tour by a toddler. And it's going to come out that that's what it is.
And
oh
this is
yeah,
just the mess that they're trying to
Mhm.
create, and
Yeah.
it's an embarrassing thing that the president is doing by blatantly. He's just out there saying, "Yep,
Mhm.
you did me wrong, and so I'm coming after you. You're a
Exactly.
Democrat. I'm coming after you." It's embarrassing. I love it that this one governor in is it Chicago where they're trying to do some stuff, and he just said the man's got dementia, and this is just craziness. Somebody just wrote in
Mhm.
here, Marine. Marine. I don't know. Whatever, Marine. You said that Kami plays dirty. Um,
Oh, I hope he plays dirty.
he should, yeah, because he's playing against somebody else that's playing totally dirty.
Exactly. Lordy, I hope there are tapes.
and he royally effed it up for Hillary. I mean,
Mm.
Yeah, that's
stepping on
true.
toes that he shouldn't have stepped on. And so I think there's a lot of people on the left that are still fairly ticked off at him for that alone. Because
Exactly.
uh, yeah, that was kind of putting
Mhm.
your thumb on the scale
Um,
there. But
Judy,
what
what
about
did you
you,
have to
Judy?
say?
Who did you get?
so yeah, on go back to Letitia. So this is the card that always comes out, the Knight of Cups, whenever I'm reading on Trump and or excuse me, sorry, F-45 and his shenanigans. His made up fantasy world that he lives in. This is the F-45 reality show. Every single time he's trying to manufacture things, this card comes up. And it's, the knight is an action card. His horse is charging ahead, even clad in orange. but he just tries to get the emotions of the people all riled up. That's all he's doing. He's trying to he's making us a reality show. That's all he's doing, and he's trying to dole out justice wherever he wants to on his revenge reality tour. That's all he's doing. And then I have these great heart truth oracle cards, and bad advice is what comes up. Says you're listening to voices that don't know the way. Don't take guidance from those in the worst position that lead that than you. It can't lead you where you want to go. So he's crazy. He's
No, I
literally crazy.
love what
So
you
she'll be
got. I love what
fine.
you got.
She supposedly she supposedly declared what she needed to declare. There's no there, and they'll figure that out. But
Yes.
he's just bananas, and it's a revenge tour.
Yep.
Great cards, Judy. Yes, I just totally agree with all of that. It's
Yep.
good.
Well, I got isolated outcast, which is like he wasn't already. Now he's just dumping more poop on the pile. And then I got disappointing results, which, yeah, it's going to be pretty disappointing results he gets off of this. Mainly because, and several people in the chat brought this out as well, that on all the paperwork that she did for her niece, she hand wrote on the forms, this is to help my niece purchase a home. She like made it very clear on every document that she filled out that it wasn't for her, it was for her niece. You know, it was like we would all be so lucky to have an aunt that would go to that extreme to help you get a house, right? And so maybe that's another reason why he's so about it. But yeah, I'm just I'm feeling like it's just one more, like I said, one more dump into the poop pile that's just gonna.
It's one more nail in the coffin, for
There
sure.
you go. I couldn't think of that one, Cleo. Thank you. I was like, all I kept thinking of was just a pile of poop, and
Understandable. Understandable.
Yes.
that's the only thing that would come to my brain. Okay, let's see what else
Just
we
another
go.
diaper in the pile.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah.
That fits with my pile of poop, so you know it goes right along there.
Yes.
So should we talk about all
Okay.
the troops going into the cities to stop this destruction supposedly that's happened in Portland and in
Well,
Chicago
and not only the troops, but Rose put in that several of the big gangs in some of the big cities have like called truces to not fight each other and instead go out to protect the protesters.
Wow.
I'm like,
Wow.
okay, now you guys are really in for it. When you get the Crips and the Bloods not wanting to fight each other or whatever the names of their,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the only
Oh, now we
gang
have
names I know.
Yeah.
But when you start getting gangbusters, you know, gangbangers that are like, yeah, we're not having this in our city, you know, we can put aside our differences for the day and go stand out front and protect. And then Cleo, fill us in on the thing about the troops and what you were telling us
Well,
backstage.
but just that that he's sending all these people in, and the governors of every state are like, we don't want this, we don't need this, there's nothing going on, this is not true. So I got a feeling here that, and actually the guides have been talking to me about this, is that they're all kind of regrouping, they're all kind of getting together and comparing notes, because this is this is just ridiculous. And what you just described and what this person Rose Blue just talked about was just that can create such a dangerous outcome. And I keep seeing Trump vying for civil war. He acts like he's going in to clean, excuse me, to clean up the city, when in fact he's just creating a bigger problem to make himself look like what? I don't know. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, this is just craziness. And so I do think that the other governors are just kind of talking to each other like, how are we supposed to deal with this? So, and also the real military, not just the, what is it, the National Guards that he claims he's sending in there. The real military people that have, dealt with him a few weeks ago, whenever it was that they got together and met.
Last week.
They,
Yeah.
yeah, or last week, excuse me. So they were just, they're still looking at this going, well, wait a minute, this is just not, this is so out of the ordinary. It's just way too far out there. So, and then the other governor that's talking about that Trump has dementia. I mean, all this stuff is accumulating and it's going to come down on him. But in the meantime, an awful lot of dangerous stuff could happen, especially when you're talking about these gangs that are saying, oh, hell no, we're going to stick up for our people. We're going to stick up for our city, for our state. Um, wow, I don't know
That
how that
just
happened.
worries me uh, that because a lot of these gangs, violence is their first go to. That's the only thing that worries me about that. And it's because I think our strongest uh, uh, our
Hmm.
strongest backing with all of this is going to be people not losing their cool and not getting
Mhm.
violent. I said it on my lunch break musings today. If you're with a group that's marching and protesting and you see somebody bust a window or do something, violent, get a couple of folks, go grab them, hog time, whatever you need to do, and march them over to where the police are and say, hey, we just found a
I mean,
vandal
I'll
trying
be
to.
I'll be right back. My camera went crazy here. Something
Oh,
went
okay.
we need to
wrong.
talk
I'll be
about
right
that.
back.
Go ahead, Judy.
So I want to step in on that because I'm coming at you from war-torn, fire-blazing Portland. So
Mhm.
I know a little something about what's going on all this. So there's and you go to my page, and I've been posting pictures of the devastation. There might be a couple leaves that have fallen on the ground. I mean, it's
Yeah.
clear streets. People are out shopping. They're doing things. It's like there's nothing. Now we have one small ice facility. It's on the outskirts of Portland, like right on the edge of a residential area. But there's one small building, and that is the ice facility. And you have at any given time maybe 25 people, but there's a group that goes out every morning and they bring little tables and they bring their coffee and their donuts and they hang out and they have breakfast together there. We have another group. There were some clowns that were there the other day. We have people that come in costumes. So in Portland, we're a very sarcastic lot. We're more likely to make fun of you than actually protest against you. And we had a group out with fishing poles and donuts on the end of the fishing pole, stuff like that. But we had a chicken guy that goes out there. We've got a frog guy that goes out there. We've got a couple dinosaurs. We've got people out in costume and doing things. Now they're still very threatened. They tackled the frog guy and shot pepper spray into his little air hole in his mouth. They did that. They've started pushing him back against the police. What happens though, and this is important for everybody to know because this is what's going out into legacy media and what's being pumped out into YouTube right now, is they have embedded some creators. They've invited one of them up on the roof. They've invited a couple others out there. The thumbnails that they're putting up are like these war ravaged pictures. One of them forgot to remove all the Spanish because we don't have policia.
Yeah.
And, or they're pictures of aren't even Portland, or they're, or they're really manufactured. And then you
See,
go in and do
tweeted
their
pictures of the
live,
LA
and they're like,
riot.
oh, it's devastation, it's horrible. Like,
Yes, yeah, the LA
yes,
riots
they're doing
from
that. Now, what's happening is
1989.
during the day, you have all the costume people going, and then when it starts to get dark, then that they start shooting a bunch of smoke canisters and the gases, so it gets really foggy, and then they'll embed like a couple of people that you see, a few people through the smoke, and take those. So it's completely manufactured, it's completely staged, and it's ridiculous. And the National Guard has come out and said, our job is to protect the citizens first. We will support the protesters against the ICE if we need to. And that's what they're starting to do in Chicago as well. So what we're doing is we're coming up against versus federal. That's the next head that's going to happen. So, and that'll be fun. And I just did a whole video on that. The cards on that were fantastic.
Yeah. So just know that whatever it is that that legacy media is showing you and saying this is what's happening, take it with a great, huge, big chunk of salt, because yeah, what you're seeing is not really what's happening. So yeah, it's manufactured so that it will instill fear in you. Oh my God, look at that. They're burning buildings. Imagine all that. No, I mean, look. Yeah.
I'm in the mist close from doing a live down there.
Happened. Yeah. No.
I think the worst of the violence that I have seen coming out of any of these cities has been in Chicago, when you had ICE agents rappelling down from helicopters to completely overrun an apartment building.
Yes.
and round up, I think they said like 40 kids, little kids in their pajamas and or underwear, and zip tied them together and put them in the back of a van by themselves for hours, while they were grabbing mama and daddy and putting them in other areas, and then had to let them all go because they were just families. There were nobody there
Citizens,
breaking
American
the laws.
citizens.
They were all innocent American citizens. And yeah, well,
and then the ICE people are like, F those kids also, because people are like, you can't do that to the babies. But also the buildings that they're doing that on apparently are buildings that are getting ready to be like foreclosed on and stuff. And they're trying to get rid of the tenants. So what better way to get rid of the tenants? And apparently there are links back to F-45 through the real estate. So,
yeah.
Hey, imagine that.
Well, son-in-law of the current occupant, Jared, what's his face? He's one of the worst slumlords in the country. I mean, if you go look at his companies that run apartment complexes and stuff, I mean, it is absolutely horrendous. The conditions of those places are, the amount of rent he charges, and won't fix anything, and then wants to charge the tenants with destroying property. It's like, how, it's like that's not what's happening. I mean, there have been quite a few books written on that since the first go round with the current occupant. But the hit I got was all of that brass that was here last week that had to sit through that insulting afternoon of Hedgehog and the current occupant trying to wave to see who had the bigger penis. And that's what it was. It was a penis waving party to say mine's bigger than yours. And, and I think that their mistake was is they managed to get all those military brass from all those different branches all in the same place together. And you know damn well that there were some major conversations going on between the upper brass of, okay, what do we do to take this guy out? How do we deal with this in the least
Mm-hmm.
unhurtful way we can
Mhm.
to the American public, um, because I know the current occupant was thoroughly just couldn't believe the fact that when he entered the room thinking, he's going to have all this stuff in these military brass, and they were all like this. And they all sat there. They didn't clap, they didn't cheer, they didn't stand up. I have never seen upper brass in the military not stand in respect to the President of the United States walking in, whether they follow him, believe in his policies or not. It's just part of the protocol of the military. And not one of them stood, not one of them clapped. I think
Well,
it's
no, I
all.
think they had that settled before they ever walked in the door because they
Oh, yeah.
knew
Oh,
that they were going to try to be set up. And so they just
oh
decided
yeah.
that the best way to deal with this is just no response whatsoever.
Mhm.
And it was the best way to deal with it. And by the way, I apologize for my camera going goofy. I don't know what was going on, but now I have switched to a
No
different
worries.
browser and it seems to be okay right now. Is my
Absolutely. No, you're
Oh, okay.
No,
fine.
you look great. It's good.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
Yeah.
fine. No
You're
apology.
beautiful, darling, and you look gorgeous.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
um, so
But yeah,
yeah,
the
that
the military, I'm telling you, from the guide standpoint, the military is definitely congregating and talking about how they're going to deal with this because it is so, again, so far out of the ordinary. Many things that the 45 is doing is totally illegal. But then he's also got that thing where you can't do anything to him because his buddies in the Supreme Court said, no, you can do anything you want. So they're kind of, they are definitely meeting and talking about this. And I said that this was going to happen months ago, that the
yep.
military was going to be in there, and they will be the ones. I did say that they will be the ones to eventually arrest him or whatever. Now I'm not quite positive about that, but it comes from the military. It could end up being somebody else doing that, and we won't see it. We will not see it. You will not see Trump in the beginning in handcuffs or anything like that. But underneath the scenes, or behind the scenes, I mean, that's what's going to be going on. And they're going to use his health as an excuse to get him out of there for a while.
Yeah. Speaking of his health, there was news apparently that he was in the hospital for that he had gone in for it. They made it sound like it's that yearly checkup thing that I
Yeah,
mean
that he just
everybody.
had 6 months ago.
Yes,
The
yeah,
second time this
exactly.
year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Well, and there's been people that are saying every 28 days he disappears for a while. And
yes,
I'm
Yeah.
thinking,
Mhm.
it's
yeah,
not because
blood
he's on his
transfusion.
period. Every 28 days.
Well,
I mean, is there some kind of treatment
He's
going
getting
on, or
treatment. Yeah, he's getting
yes, yeah.
treatment.
And yeah,
Mm.
their blood transfusions and yeah, trying to
Stem cells, maybe.
yeah,
Dialysis. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah.
with
His
with
Yeah.
yeah,
with all the
his
Wow.
powdered sugar that
his
went up
days
his
are
nose.
numbered. Yeah, his
Yeah.
days are numbered. And I think that um it bothers him that he can't find someone to blame for his illness. He's
Yeah.
looking. Whose fault is this? Yeah.
Yeah, it's your own
Amazing.
damn
Here.
fault.
Yeah.
Um,
Walter Reed.
Yeah, he's trying
We
to
have
find the seed
a
of prosperity to this, and it's not working.
Yeah.
there's a massive thunderstorm going on outside, so hopefully I'll stay with you. And if you hear big bangs, that might be it.
All right.
Wow.
Okay,
So,
I also pulled trusted advisor, and that's the one who's been whispering in his ear about you need to do this and you need to do that. Mr. Miller is going to he's going to have a very special place in hell when he leaves this old mortal coil. But then I got this stepping down. And I like this better than anything else because
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what we need.
yeah.
I think that what they have been doing up until now, trying to, the different drug cocktails and so on, it is delivering disappointing results. It's not working the way that they thought that they would, or it's not being effective anymore. So now they're coming out with the misleading headlines that, oh, no, everything is just fine. Everything is okay. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, we've got shifting alliances. They are talking. Part of the GOP is gathering together, of course, entertainment purposes only. What do I know? They are meeting behind the scenes to figure out how they're going to do the transfer of power and who's going to be in charge. And believe me, it will not be J.D. Vance. It will not be J.D. Vance.
Yes,
The
so
people
hope
will
and pray.
absolutely revolt against him because he's
Yeah.
not who the base wants.
Well, and I actually saw an article about that, about what you just said, was that they are meeting, and there was like 40 Republicans that put a letter out about they're not approving of what Trump is doing because it's just too far.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
Yes.
And they don't support it, and it's just not the way to go. They're also very upset about him blowing up these boats out in, I don't know what
Yes.
ocean they're in, but
Caribbean.
they have no proof. They have no proof that these people are doing drug stuff. But it was so interesting that they did at one point put out it was just stupid. They put out a picture that said, that they were trying to convince everybody, look at all this cocaine. Well, no, 1 minute you just said that he blew the boat to smithereens and everybody is gone, and the next minute they've got this picture of a bunch of cocaine. I'm like, what? What are you doing? But anyway, they're looking. Well, I think it's also the Democrats. They're looking into this blowing up the boat thing.
Yes.
So all of this
globally
stuff
they
is
are.
coming. All of this stuff is eventually coming to a head, and this seems to be it. And we thought there was going to be something big in September. There was a lot of stuff in September that was very big, but it wasn't removing him from office quite yet. They have to make sure that once this thing is done, that it works, that it holds, that they keep him out. But yeah, they got to worry about Vance too, because Vance just is looking around like he can't wait. He's already redecorating the Oval
he's
Office
he's already measuring the curtains. So
yeah, exactly.
And looking
As
for
you
new
will say.
couch covers, apparently.
yeah, you can't leave any evidence. Can't leave any evidence on the oval couch. So
Yes.
just saying. There's a pretty picture to paint for y'all tonight. Enjoy.
Yes. Yeah.
But I mean, and several people in chat have mentioned it as well, that give it another month or so and everybody's premiums are going to go up and things, and their health care is going to get cut. I mean, my son got kicked off of his health care.
Yeah.
He's got degenerative heart disease.
Wow.
And they booted him. And so it's like every time he's so much as hiccups wrong, I go into panic mode. Because it's like, something happens. It's like, I don't have that kind of money to, I mean,
Yeah.
who's got that kind of cash, and you
Yeah.
got to have,
Well,
uh,
that's getting
uh,
into the shutdown conversation, but
exactly. And I think that that's not going to last much longer. I think the shutdown is getting ready to be, y'all come on back and let's do this because from what I heard yesterday, that there are over 100 Republican House members who have stated that as soon as they're back in the House, they're joining the Democrats for the files to come out.
Ha.
And
Well, that
so
and just all they have to do is change their position about healthcare. That's all they have to do for this
yeah,
particular thing, and that would fix
yeah,
everything. And even Cuckoo Marjorie,
I know.
yeah,
Who could you
she's
imagine
actually
that we would agree with her?
exactly. Little Cuckoo Marjorie
Yeah.
is not pleased about this health thing, and just what Sherry's talking about, where they're going to increase the cost of your health insurance. It's going to be 3 to 4 times what you're paying right now, and nobody can afford that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nobody. Go ahead, Judy. What do you got?
so I have going back to the
Go
going
ahead.
back to the previous question with F45. I got judgment was card when I was shuffling my cards. Judgment card just flew out regarding F45. So judgment card, and there's also there's more information coming out. There's another opportunity we're going to be able to grab hold of. This is for lack of a better word, this is a war that's being fought on several fronts. So we have the Epstein front, we have the states versus the federal front, we have the election interference front, we've got the collaboration with other countries against the United States front. But there's something else that is another opportunity we're going to be able to grab hold of. But I also this brings us from the storm to the light. We're going to be moving to calmer waters, moving ahead. But also, it's a big energy drain. It says this opportunity will deplete you. Evaluate your involvement and seek opportunities that rejuvenate and inspire you. So this is all just a big, huge energy suck. But regarding MTG, I think she's just looking because the Republican Party is starting to fracture, and she is no longer the favorite child. And so she's just looking for a home to land in is all she's trying to do. She's just trying to save her own hiney. Yeah. She doesn't really care.
Good point. Good point.
Well, evidently there was a military wife who chewed out the speaker on CNN. I'm gonna have to go back and look for that just to have a nice ending to my day.
Judy, you said that smoother waters are coming. It's going to settle down. Did you feel anything about a time limit on this, or when could it be next month? Could it be before the end of the year? Do you have any idea?
Yeah. So what I feel like is happening is, and please pardon the analogy, I've done this on a couple of videos, but this is what they keep showing me. And so if I have to see it, you have to see it. But what they keep showing me is when you're in labor and you're about ready to give birth, the head is crowning. And so we're kind of at that point right now where we're in the darkest part of it, and there's more coming out, and everything is literally coming to a head. Now, when F45 takes a dirt nap, and if whether we're left with Couch Boy or somebody else, that whole regime still needs to be wiped out. That is not going to be an overnight thing.
Right.
It's going to take a while. And the other thing, the big caution that I put out for especially anybody, but there's a lot of people around me that have a lot of privilege, and they don't want to see what's going on, and they're pretending nothing is happening because they have that luxury to not see it. And my fear is that, or my concern is that when F45 takes a dirt nap, it's going to be, oh shoot, good, we're back to normal, and then we will not have learned the lesson that we're supposed to learn, right?
Yeah.
So we can't just go, oh, okay, and magically go complacent. We're going to have to
No.
rebuild and come back to all of the groups other than cis white males. All of those, anybody else is still, we've had things taken away from us. Rights have been pulled away or dramatically reduced or put at threat. And that has to be put right again. And that's going to take some time.
Yes, definitely.
But I do feel like this is the worst of it. And then it's going to be cleanup after the hurricane, after that kind of deal.
Wow. Okay. I love that. I love
right
that.
now we're looking at the fact that we've had, I mean, metaphorically speaking, a couple of Category 5 hurricanes that have hit back to back with an earthquake in between. And so that's how big of a mess we've got that we have to try to clean up. And it's going to be, when you start thinking globally and our allies and everything, it's going to take decades, if not generations, to restore the damage that this man and his people have done to this country.
And they are going to be held accountable. All the people that are helping him right now, all the people that can see what's going on and are choosing not to do anything about it, that are being silent, are going to need to be held accountable and made responsible for their complicity. Don't give me, oh, well, I didn't know. Yes, you did. And you chose.
Well, no, they knew, but they're afraid of him. They are afraid of him, so they're not speaking up. Well, you can't have this in a democracy.
No.
You can't have this in a country that's based on freedom. I mean, and these people know better. There's different ways to do this.
The challenge is that.
Yes, Judy, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine.
So the challenge is that we've got legacy media that's pumping out like all the nonsense that they say is going on in Portland. People believe that this is happening. They genuinely believe it. And I work right downtown, smack in the middle of downtown Portland is where I work. And people tell me it's horrible down there. And I'm looking, I work there. I'll walk to work in the dark and go home in the dark. I feel perfectly safe. I work there, literally downtown. But also, the other challenge, I feel like this is a big awakening, not only for our country, but for the globally, for the planet. Because once we become too hot for Project 2025, the vision I get is, the Pixar little light that goes boing, 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 that little guy. Like the picture I get is the light is on us right now, but when it gets too hot, he just turns and shines the light in the other countries. So it's going to move to other countries in the world. They're going to have to go through what we're going through. And hopefully they'll look at what we've done to fight it and go, okay, you can fight this. This is how you do it. But we're going to have to move through this. This is probably going to be decades before globally we get our act together.
Exactly.
Right. Well, and
Nuremberg trials. Yeah. The Nuremberg, I can't talk. 2.0, as somebody just said. Absolutely. The idea that, well, I was only following orders doesn't cut it. It didn't cut it then. It's not cutting it now. It's not going to cut it in the future. Right? Each and every person has a moral duty and responsibility to their fellow man to do the right thing. And don't give me, well, I was only following orders. That's BS.
Yeah.
Right.
And Judy, I wanted to ask you real quick. In Portland, isn't some of the things that that Trump is talking about that's happening in Portland based on a newsreel from like over a year ago? Or did you not see that?
He keeps referencing back to the George Floyd protests in 2020. And what happened with that
a long time ago
is a long time ago. But what happened with that is those were actually peaceful until he sent in his goons that were basically what he's telling ICE to do now is what he did then. And they actively, we had in the very front row, we had what was called the wall of moms, literally moms that would stand arm to arm. They were T-shirts jeans moms, everyday moms that were just like, this could have been any of our babies. This is your baby. This could have been our baby. That's what their statement was. Yeah. And the goons came in and directly just pepperballed them and gassed them and beat them and everything. Wow. They were beating press people. They were coming in. All of the destruction that happened were from his federal goons that came in. That's when business windows started going out. That's when tires were slashed. That's when things caught on fire. And they had black vehicles that would drive around. They would pull people in and kidnap them and drive off. We have a lot of food trucks. So some food trucks came down to nourish the protesters. If they were doing that, they destroyed the food trucks. They would tow them off and have them burning. That's what they were doing. And it's that footage that, of course, he always blamed on the people, but it was his job. And that's what they're portraying as what's going on now.
Wow. Okay, so you are talking. Just a second. You are talking about something that occurred 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right? Okay. Go ahead, Sherry. Just wanted to make sure I hadn't lost my mind here.
You're cool. I think part of our saving grace this go round, as well as part of their hell to have to deal with, is the fact that because we went through what we did from 2016 to 2020, most people are like, okay, we know we got his number. We know the crap he's going to pull. They're the ones, nothing gets violent until he sends his brown shirts in. And then that's when the violence starts happening. What's going to help us this go round is every damn person that's out there, from the 2-year-old to the 92-year-old, all have their own damn phones up and running, and you're live right now. So everybody's seeing who's doing what. Just like the pastor getting shot in the head with the pepper balls, rubber ball thing. There were people that were filming.
I think it was a pepper ball.
Quite clearly got a clear shot of the guy just picking up his gun and aiming it at the pastor and shooting him in the head. And I got a vision like about 2 weeks ago, and I've still been kind of dealing with what exactly they were showing me. But I kept seeing like local law enforcement, like the police department, the sheriff's department, the highway patrols and whatnot, showing up on some of these really big events. And every person that they saw in ICE that had a mask on their face, they were arresting on the spot for being a domestic terrorist. And that they started hauling the ICE people off in handcuffs. And that I've not seen that happen yet. I don't know if this is something that's going to happen No King's Day, or maybe even a little further down the road, but it was a very, very clear vision that they gave me, and they've given it to me like about 3 or 4 times now in the last 2 weeks. And so it's like every time I get it, then I try to pick it apart to see if I can figure out any other information to go with it. And so far, it's like it's just not coming clear to me, like when to expect it or what exactly or how exactly it's going to happen. They just keep showing me local law enforcement going against the ICE agents and or the National Guard if they're coming after citizens who are peacefully protesting. And it's given me a lot of hope. It's like, okay, maybe if the National Guardsmen are there and they see local police showing up and arresting these ICE people, maybe that will be an impetus that will turn the National Guard around and say, wait a minute, we're fighting the wrong side here, and joining forces. And I think that kind of goes hand in glove with the big brass being in and all of them together. And I think probably whatever messages that they're sending down the line, that this is what we expect out of y'all. And granted, I know they have to be careful with what they say and how they say it, because they don't want to tip off the other side, because the people that they've got signed up for ICE, these people have literally jumped the shark off the range. I mean, they're like totally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're just, it has gone to their heads where they think that they are as immune as the clown, and they're going to learn the hard way that, yeah, that doesn't extend to you. Just like the clown's going to learn that a lot of what he's done, yeah, that immunity clause doesn't cover that. So,
well, Sherry, I think you're spot on, because the National Guard is both in Oregon and in Chicago have said we're going to protect the protesters, and the ICE people have attacked 2 cops now. It's not going to take very much of that for them to go, you know what? We're all standing against you. We are on the precipice of state versus federal right now. So I don't think you're wrong.
War.
I think you're right on.
Civil war. Yes, that's a big problem. And somebody was talking about
not necessarily, because it's all states.
Well, that's true. Gavin Newsom he's putting a thing out there to pass the law that they can't wear the masks, because you can't tell who you're dealing with. You could anybody could dress up like they're ICE and start harassing people. So and they don't know when that takes effect. I don't know either. But everything Gavin Newsom is doing is just so helpful. And don't tell me that other governors are not talking to him. They're talking to each other. They know.
Governor Pritzker is another one. He's been out there in front of the cameras raising holy hell. Same with Governor Walz,
Yeah.
And quite
Senator
a few
Wyden,
others.
When Gavin Newsom introduced the law in California, Senator Wyden at the same time, because they collaborated on this, Senator Wyden at the same time introduced it to Congress to make it a nationwide thing. So that's being dealt with in Congress right now too. So, and it's not civil war per se, but it's the thing that makes the United States great, honestly, is you can't come in and just take over a country, because we're like 50 little countries within a large country. You have to be able to take over all 50 of the individual things to take over the country. But what we're also finding is Oregon, Washington, California, and Hawaii have band together to start creating their own healthcare, because what's going on nationally is garbage. And also the East Coast and the West Coast are primarily blue states, and they have a seaboard, and we're making our own trade agreements. We can make our own trade agreement with Mexico, Canada, and with China and other countries, and we have a seaboard. Now, do we want to share with the red states? Probably not at this point, but we have independent autonomy, and that's going to be the new birth, essentially, is states realizing, hey, we do have power. We just haven't had to utilize it yet, but now we can, and we like this. So I think that's the new thing moving forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
And let the Western seaboard, let California do its own thing. And there goes pretty much the rest of the US, because California by itself has the 4th largest economy in the world. Not in the US, in the world.
Right.
And they are basically taking care of all the red states.
Exactly.
Are just taking states. They're not giver states,
Exactly.
I mean, I work for the state, and I'm in a very red state. And we are, because of the stupid things that have been decided with our current governor and his MAGA people, um, they're like almost out of money. I mean, I work for a university, and suddenly, we're getting told, yeah, you can't spend more than $1,000 a month uh, buying your purchasing needs for your department. And I'm like, I buy crap for my department that's 2 or 3 times that much money in one purchase.
Yeah.
Much less for a whole month. I mean, and everybody is tripping out about it because I mean, I've been holding my breath that they don't suddenly start sending down layoffs or something, because it's like, you want to talk about being royally screwed? I don't know what the hell we would do if that happened. Because I would lose my income, and I mean, and that's a fear that's been in the back of my mind, but at the same time, I keep telling myself, no, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to believe it, but it's still there in the darkest corners of my brain. That's
Yeah, really.
So,
Well, that it could be a big reality. That's scary, very scary for
It is.
millions of people. Sandy here in the chat section said New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and a fourth state have formed a health force. So that's on the East Coast. So you got the West Coast and the East Coast now all working together. Not working with that, but those states, but they're trying to do something to get beyond this thing that Trump wants to eliminate. Well, Medicaid and everything else, and raise the insurance rates.
It seems like I just read that on the West Coast there, that several of the states got together and they just signed their first trade agreement with another country to do trade. And so it's like, yeah, we're not going to pay attention to these crazy MFers,
I haven't heard that yet, but I hope you're right. That would be wonderful.
I heard one of the pundits talking about it yesterday, so I don't know how accurate it is because I haven't had the time to really research and see where they were getting their information from. But ladies, we have been at this 1 hour and 3 minutes now, and I know Marina looks like she's starting to droop a little bit, and I'm starting to droop a little bit. And I don't want to abuse anybody's time, and I sure don't want to make anybody get sicker because they keep going. So we're going to wrap it up. I mean, those of you in chat, if you've got any more ideas or thoughts of stuff you'd like to see us read on, put it in the comment section after the show. And then that way we can go back in, whether if we do it collectively the next time out or whether any of us see a question and think, oh, I can answer that, and pluck it out and decide to do it on a solo read themselves, because we all do that, little quickie readings or hits that we get. So, always feel free to leave your questions there, because we do go back in and look at the comments after the show. I try to read all of them. I would like to be able to answer all of them, but there aren't enough hours in the month for me to do that. So, but I do try to read all of them and heart them, so that that I've read them. And I mean, I've gotten some really intriguing questions or just things to ponder on that other people have proposed. So for that, I greatly appreciate it. And
don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to all the channels.
Yes, thank you, man. That was next to come out of my mouth, was to hit that key. So everybody's links are in the description box below. So you can go below and click on those links, go to all of our channels. Please, please, please hit the subscribe, hit the little bell notification when you subscribe, and then that way you get notified every time we drop something or we go live or we just post something on our post page. I hate that they renamed it that. It just sounds so stupid. Go read my post on the post page. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that's redundant.
Yeah.
But anyway, y'all have a lovely rest of your week. We're gonna all be on at some point or another between now and the end of the weekend. So go to our channels, go to our posts page, and see what we got cooking and coming up. You'll see something there, and just have a good weekend. We're going into weekend mode now, starting tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
have a good weekend, and hopefully everybody has nice weather all weekend long.
Absolutely.
Get a little bit cooler would be nice,
Yeah.
Yes.
so just a little bit cooler.
Yes.
All right,
Absolutely.
bye, y'all. Have a good one.